Oh, yes, indeed. It's the WWE Money in the Bank post-show from the Ringside Report Network and Wrestling Uncensored. Let's do it.
Start.
Oh my goodness, we're here. We are live. Man, I wish I had the DJ machine. I could start pumping the tunes.
We should make some samples.
We could do that. I was doing that on the watch along for a UFC recently.
Oh yeah.
I plugged the DJ machine in and we were like pumping the tunes. We were having a good time.
It's pretty cool.
But we won't waste your time with all that tonight, Johnny. How are you?
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's get to some wrestling. That's good. None of all the shenanigans.
Well, Simon Brothers in full effect. There may be some shenanigans, John. You know what you get when you get us together. I mean, look at this guy's T-shirt over here. My T-shirt is pretty nice. It's very much like your T-shirt.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we both got the Genesis T-shirts on that you could get over at merch.ringsidereport.net. So I'm rocking a pretty sweet shirt, similar to yours, different color, but you know, you can get multiple colors to be very cool, like Johnny and I. But this guy, I mean, look at the shenanigans.
It's pretty shenanigans.
With his "Can I borrow a feeling" T-shirt, I mean, come on, bro.
It's classic.
Pure shenanigans.
Hey, can I borrow a feeling on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says
on the bottom.
Yeah,
cool. Just like the tape.
That's the album cover.
Nice.
It's his demo. His girlfriend, Starla.
Yeah, Kirk Van Houten. So WWE Money in the Bank just went down, and it ended kind of flat.
Yep.
What the hell was that? Did they forget how to finish pay-per-views? Because the last one ended weird with all of Scotland just kind of going, why? Why didn't Drew just win, guys? Come on. And now this show ends in a six-man tag. Kind of uneventful. Fine match. I mean, it was what it was. And then Solo and the gang have a ref bump and some low blows, and they wind up winning, pinning Cody, and then just standing there. And nothing happened. And the show just ended. Triple H is at the top of the show saying this is going to be, what do you say, changing of the landscape?
Yeah.
This is going to change the landscape of WWE. Tonight, everything changes. And at the end of the show, you go, what's changed? Anything? I mean, nothing really. Even the guy, Drew McIntyre, who won Money in the Bank, winds up getting canceled out midway through the show. Like he cashed in the briefcase, did not win. So we don't even have a new champion of any kind. And Drew doesn't even have a briefcase. Drew entered the night without a Money in the Bank briefcase, and he leaves the night without one of those briefcases. So literally nothing changed there. Nothing. Drew hated CM Punk before this show. He still hates CM Punk afterwards. How was that changing of the landscape in WWE? Why do that? It's like a Tony Khan move. You know? We're going to have a major announcement, and it's like, we're going to have a show in Tulsa in 6 months. It's like, what? Why? What?
Isn't that exciting, guys?
How is that made? What are you talking about? You know? And Triple H tonight with the landscape is changing.
Yeah,
you go, well,
nothing
actually happened here. What have we learned? And the end of the show, I thought they would do something. I thought Roman Reigns might come back. Toronto's a big city. You want to do something big at the end of the show? when they didn't do a Money in the Bank ladder match or the world title match last, I thought it was weird, and it meant that something major was going to happen in the 6-man tag. And nothing happened in the 6-man tag. Exactly what I thought was going to happen was a Solo pinning Cody 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring to set up Solo and Cody, probably SummerSlam, which is what we predicted. And I saw Lior, and thank you, Lior, for congratulating us on predicting the entire show on our preview last night. But honestly, I'm not that happy about it, because I don't want it to be this predictable and bland and boring. The only thing I didn't predict was that WWE would be so stupid as to end the show with this instead of a world title match. The CM Punk appearance world title match with Seth Rollins and Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, that was the match that should have ended this show. The fact that they ended with this flat Solo Sikoa victory is baffling. I didn't predict it, because who would have predicted it? Why would you think that they would do this? Like, it was very weird. I don't know why they ended the show like that.
It felt for a second when they were kind of doing like the fingers up in the ring, the acknowledgement like maybe something was going to happen, but then it didn't, which gave it kind of like a SmackDown kind of ending, you know?
Yeah.
Very, very SmackDown, this ending.
When you say you're going to change the landscape and then the show ends like that, you go, well, what? What?
Yeah, it's not much
I'm
changing landscape.
confused.
That's, you know, maybe trimming a couple bushes.
Like, I'm not angry. I'm just confused. What the hell happened there? What are they doing? This show was a mess. It was very messy. Everything that we saw here tonight was like, there was some major, there was a major problem with everything.
Yeah. It's botcherific.
Nothing came off kind of clean.
Started with the pre-show.
It did start with the pre-show, with the audio. I don't know if everybody was watching from the pre-show, but at one point, they have like the desk and Big E and Jackie Redman and Wade Barrett. They're all talking to each other, but you're also hearing the audio from the arena over top of it, which was weird. You were hearing Samantha Irvin introduce Michael Cole while Big E was talking. It was very strange.
Yeah. That's going to be on the next Botchmania for sure.
And then the botches just kept on coming, from Zoe Stark's performance to Damian Priest not kicking out. I mean, it was a rough show tonight. Like, it had its moments. I didn't hate it. But god damn, it's like they escaped with their lives.
Yeah.
Like they barely made it through. It seemed like a chore to put on.
Yeah, like they have an idea of how things would go, and you hope it goes well. Not everything went according to plan, clearly, but I didn't think it was a bad show by any means. Just some things clearly didn't go right. It's unfortunate. I'd love to hear from Antoinette, because apparently she was there. Mm-hmm. If she's in the chat, I'd love to hear her comments, what it was like, that live atmosphere. Because she paid a lot for those tickets. That's something, too. Yeah. Like, apparently there's over 20,000 people, and then the number kept going up as the show went on. I don't know if you caught that as well. Yeah. We started at 19,000, and then we went to 20,000. Apparently they get magically 1,000 more people at the show, but whatever.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of people paid.
Yeah, possibly. The ghost didn't get there right away. But, like, it's good for the people, like, to get their thoughts, because, like, they were there live, and what was that kind of atmosphere? Because at least in the building, there was a lot of energy, for sure, and I felt it, and I just thought some matches didn't deliver, but I thought we started off very well. The first Money in the Bank, I thought was excellent way to start the show.
Yeah. Antoinette saying live was awesome. What is she saying? Live was awesome. That is all that made me happy. So she enjoyed the live experience, which is always fun. It's always fun. I've been to a couple Money in the Banks. They are fun shows to attend, for sure. Right. Even, like, if I've been disappointed with the result, like, Daniel Bryan not winning.
Yeah, it was Randy who
Yeah,
won.
when Randy won instead of
Yeah.
Punk or Bryan, that was annoying.
Yeah.
Or Rob Van Dam even, or Sheamus or Christian. Any one of
Yeah,
those guys.
but it
would've
was
been-
Randy.
But it was freaking Randy, and it pissed me off. But
It was a good show.
it was a hell of a match, and
Yeah.
I'm happy I went, and it was great. So, yeah, it's good to go to a Money in the Bank, and I'm happy Antoinette got to go. She says last match was messy. Tonga botched the low blow. That was
yeah, that was another one.
hilarious when
Yeah.
Kevin Owens has, I think, Tama set up for the package pile driver, and Tonga Loa comes into the ring and goes to low blow him, but he missed and just punched him in the butt, and Kevin didn't even react. He was just like,
Yeah.
no, you got to punch the dick, bro. And
Yeah.
then he hits it with the low blow, then Kevin drops him. It was just it was odd that Kevin didn't just go, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Sell it. It was close enough, but it was clearly in his butt, and it
Yeah.
was just like, nope, do it again. It just exposed it so much. If he would have just sold, if he would have sold, it would have made him look bad, I guess. But not selling,
Made it worse.
not selling makes it so obvious that he just punched you in the butt. Didn't look good.
Well, who kicked the lady in the audience?
What?
What?
Yeah, someone apparently kicked the lady. That's what Antoinette's saying. Who kicked the lady in the audience? I didn't see that.
Oh, jeez.
That's pretty rough.
Who kicked the
They
lady
were
in the
like-
audience? CM Punk? Tonga Loa kicked somebody in the audience?
Oh, when did this happen?
When you say Tonga, it's a little confusing because they're both named Tonga, which is a little annoying. In New Japan, I just let it slide, but now that they're in WWE, I would have thought they would have changed their names. But one guy is Tonga, and the other guy is Tonga Loa. So if you just say Tonga, I'm not sure if you're referring to Tonga or Tonga Loa. They're both Tongas. Why are they both named Tongas? And they're brothers, but they share a name, but it's not their last name. One guy has it as his last name, the other guy has it as his first name. It's very confusing. I'm not confused anymore. I know who they are, but goddamn, pal.
Which one was wrestling? It was Tonga?
Tonga.
Yeah. Tangaloa was in the suit.
She said Jacob? Now Antoinette's saying Jacob. Jacob is not a Tonga. Jacob is a Fatu. Jacob is Jacob Fatu. Now it's getting really confusing.
Yeah, Jason, you walked in at a bad time, I guess. It's very confusing. We're all confused right now. What's going on?
Says, what the hell did I walk into? Punching butts, no selling, and kicking ladies. What the hell is going on? Shout out to Antoinette. Shout out to Jason Pete. Shout out to Franco316. Shout out to Leor. Shout out to goddamn Danny Brook Media. AJ in the
boy.
chat. Oh no. Everybody, all the members that I'm seeing who have joined up. Ryan Katz joining up over at join.ringsidereport.net to support the YouTube channel over at join.ringsidereport.net, and of course membership.ringsidereport.net. Scan that QR code that you see on the screen and support the Ringside Report Network.
AJ's a member. He can call in now, no? I'm sure he'd love to do that.
No, he's banned. AJ's banned.
He's already bad.
Oh, yeah, I've pre-banned him. He's pre-banned. But, yeah, So, I don't know, John. Where do you want to start? Let's start with the main event because we're kind of on that already. Cody did a dive on Tonga Loa outside. He did one of those suicide dives outside the ring. And Tonga Loa took it just boom, and his back of the head smacked against the announce table so hard. It looked like a concussion. Did you see that?
Yeah, I noticed that. And maybe that, too. Maybe he was a little woozy when he got in there afterwards trying for the low blow. So maybe part of it was that.
Yeah, maybe he's so dizzy he thought he was punching him in the,
Bell was wrong.
That was
See, the problem
rough.
with that was, the problem with that with the low blow is commentary sold the first low blow, and then they sold it again.
Yep.
And then if you notice in the replay, the first one doesn't exist anymore. So they might edit that out, I think, possibly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you would have to. You would have to because it looked bad.
Commentary had a hard time tonight. There's a lot of, trying to cover for the wrestlers, and then like they would get contradicted for the covering, and like, yeah, it's hard.
I was a little offended, to be honest. Like when Corey Graves said that like Kevin Owens has a death wish, like considering his mom's in the hospital, I think that wasn't the best time to say that he has like a death wish.
I didn't even catch that. That's awful.
Like Charles Bronson.
Good God Almighty. So this 6-man was the main event for some reason. Maybe because Cody's in it. I don't really get it.
It's because Cody was in the main event last time. I remember I questioned that too. It's like Cody's your top guy. He's on the main event, and they probably because like last show we had, Drew got screwed over in the main event. So you're gonna have another main event where Drew gets screwed over again.
Yeah,
they probably thought that was too much.
But instead, we get Cody getting screwed over by Solo.
Well, we get the setup for the SummerSlam main event, right?
I guess so, but it made the show end very flat. Like, if you finish the show with that Seth, Priest, Drew, Punk thing, it's a hotter finish.
I agree. Well, I would have done it the other way around, what they did in both shows, but they did, they decided to go this way, and it didn't work out too well, I think.
And this 6-man tag was pretty slow until the first ref bump. When the
I don't know about you. Sorry, I thought the whole show was kind of slow for the most part. Like, I felt a lot of matches didn't even be as long as they were. It felt like we were dragging the whole show. Like, the fact that this ended way past 10 was ridiculous. It started at 7.
Yeah, it started at 7. It went 3.5 hours, maybe just under 3.5 hours, but it was very long, and it didn't need to be. And it was just all filler.
Yeah, a lot of backstage promos, a lot of video packages for other people, for Gunther, for the YouTube WrestleMania backstage thing. That was like 5 minutes at least.
Why did they cut to that for so long? They kept showing us this, like, here's the behind the scenes of WrestleMania YouTube show. And it wasn't like a 20-second commercial. It was like, let's show you a good chunk of it just to fill time.
Yeah.
And they showed us something else.
Was a promo.
Money in the Bank by the numbers. I mean, it's just, there was a lot of just filler, a lot of nothing. A lot of nothing on this show to just eat up time for some reason. I don't know why they were trying to make it so long. But you're right, John. The show was just way too long. This match was too long. It dragged until they started, putting each other through tables and doing wild stuff. Ref got accidentally hit by Solo, which didn't look really like an accident. Like, it was one of those deals where he's supposed to hit Cody, and Cody's supposed to duck out of the way, and he hits the ref. But, like, Cody ducked out of the way so long before Solo hit the ref. He had a lot of time to change course, and he just didn't. So, I don't know. Seems like a disqualification to me, but I guess not. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't seem that accidental.
I know what you mean. Because it's not supposed to be, right? Well, there was a lot of not supposed to be, right? Like, if you think about it, Seth should be the world champion right now, right? But that's not what's supposed to happen.
Exactly. It just all felt so fake. When you screw things up like this, it just makes it seem so much faker than it needs to. Ugh. So the ref got bumped. Kevin Owens frog splashed. Jacob Fatu threw the announce table off the barricade. That was pretty cool. Randy hit a bunch of RKOs on some dudes. Solo hit the spike on Randy. Cody hit a couple crossroads on Solo. Looked like he had Solo beat, but then Jacob Fatu did like a whisper in the wind on Cody. That was amazing.
Yeah, just the placement of that was weird, though, because, like, you have Solo there, so he has to throw Solo away in order for that to work. Like, it's just the placement was kind of off. I found, like, you needed something a bit quicker, not something that would take up so much space, but you wanted to hit that cool move, and so you have to sacrifice whatever you're doing for that move.
It did look cool, though. And then that kind of led to the finish where he beat up Cody a bit, picked him up, had Solo hit him with the spike, and then, of course, miraculously, the ref is ready. 1, 2, 3, Solo pins Cody. And we're off and running for SummerSlam. Solo's already made his intentions clear. He wants to face Cody for the WWE Championship, take back the title for the family, the title that Roman wasn't man enough to keep at WrestleMania, and he will do it to stake his claim as the real tribal chief and the real head of the table. And he will do this at SummerSlam, where you expect possibly Roman to return, or who knows, The placement of this match tonight, I thought, ooh, maybe we'll get a Roman return. We had John Cena on the show. We got CM Punk on the show. It's Toronto. Maybe we'll get Roman to close the show. That would be a huge pop. That would be a cool way to finish this Money in the Bank show, that Triple H would be game-changing or whatever the hell he said. That would have been cool, but no, we didn't get any of that. We just had Solo pinning Cody. 1, 2, 3. Match over. I did say Solo was going to pin Cody, too. I called it down to the finish.
You were 100% right on that one. Exactly how it went down. Just, we didn't have this as the main event, though, I don't believe. I believe we had the World Heavyweight title match as the main event. But that's what they thought. And it should have been, but, they have their own ideas. And look what happened. Didn't work out too well. Oh, well, they live and learn.
Yep.
I'm sure they're not worried. They're still rich in the end.
Most of them. I guess.
The decision heads, anyways.
Oh, the decision makers. Yeah, they're all still rich. And some of them are terrible enablers. Anyhow, speaking of enablers, John Cena was on the show tonight. Boom!
Well, Antoinette's right. We had two things that were off, too. I had Sammy.
Yeah.
And I think you had Chelsea, for the women's ladder match as well. So we had two things that were off. But, except for one match each, we were right.
Yeah, that's it. I thought Sammy was going to win, and you thought Braun Breaker was going to win. And I thought Chelsea might win, and you thought Tiffy Time was going to win. So you got that one right. I got that one wrong. And you got the Braun Breaker thing wrong, and I got that one right. So it's kind of, we're even. But we each predict. It's not like I did not have Braun. I had Sammy winning. John, you had Braun, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Antoinette,
I had Braun.
Yeah. Antoinette said Dave had
I can't
Braun.
believe Braun
I did not have Braun. I remember you said you had Braun.
I had Braun.
And I was taking Sammy, and I was the only one by myself on the Sami Zayn train. And he won. Hit the haluva kick. Pretty much exactly as I called it, too. Braun kind of made a mistake, went for a spear. Sammy kicked him in the head, and then hit the kick 1, 2, 3. That was the finish I called, too. I'm not happy
Very
about
surprising. No, I couldn't believe it.
it. Yeah.
I'm surprised Braun lost. So clean. So clean. I was very surprised.
I don't like it either.
Sammy's a major player, man. They feel like they gotta give something to him because he's over as hell, man. The fans do really like him. He's the underdog. The underdog from
great.
the underground, wasn't that his old
one
thing?
Of his first T-shirts.
Yeah, there you go. That's what he is.
Yep.
That's what he is.
He's a great underdog champion.
Mm-hmm.
It's working.
Yeah. And the match was nothing special whatsoever.
I thought there was one cool thing, when Braun did that clothesline, which looked like that killed him as well. When they were, when I think Sammy was sitting on the table, that was a cool moment. That was I wasn't expecting that. Everything else was pretty much what you expect, but that one really stood out that moment.
I think they were in a tough spot on the card.
Yeah.
Right after the men's Money in the Bank match, people weren't really caring about this one as much, but it didn't do much. It didn't do much.
And if we're talking match of the night, to me, the men's ladder match was the match of the night.
I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay,
Nothing
well,
else came
that's
close.
easy right there.
Yeah, we're unanimous on that, right?
It is hard to find a number 2, to be honest. So yeah, you're right.
Women's.
It's not a clear-cut number 2 because I feel everything else is pretty much just on that level.
I thought the women's was better than everything else because I feel like they went for it more. I feel like the effort was there more for their match. Like, they were trying some crazy shit.
Yeah, there were some risky moves.
Like, it didn't really work, but I
Right.
give them an A for effort. You know, like, they were trying hard. Like, that Chelsea Green bump was ridiculous. That was the bump of the night. Nothing that the men did was as crazy as that. Chelsea Green going from the top of the ladder to flying outside the ring through 2 tables, flat back bump outside the, like, that was nuts. That was ridiculous, man. No one took a better bump than Chelsea Green tonight. You got to give that match number 2 just based on that bump. It was crazy.
I will not take away from that bump, but I thought there was some very good bumps in the men's ladder match, and just they looked better. Like Andrade, I thought would look fantastic in the men's. He didn't do much, but he made the most of his moments, I thought, in that match. That sunset flip he did where they bounced off the ladder,
Yeah.
I thought that looked fantastic. And when he did that, like, inverted, like, Spanish fly, beautiful. That's one of the best looking inverted Spanish flies I've ever seen.
The leg drop that he did and then landed on the ladder kind of awkwardly, and he knocked Gable off the ladder, and then Gable was kind of suspended there from his ankle.
Yep.
That was a hell of a spot. That was nuts. Andrade looked really good in that match. He was the MVP as far as I'm concerned. Like, in that match, I don't think anybody shined more than Andrade. And he came in kind of being a forgotten player in that one. No one expected him to win, and he didn't. But he shined more than anyone else.
Well, I think it kind of hurt the women's a lot more because they were on after the men's. It's really hard to follow that. And I feel like maybe they shouldn't do 2 Money in the Bank matches if, like, one's clearly going to be, like, fantastic and the other one will look like, well, they're going to try their best. Hopefully they don't die. Like, you know, it's clearly like there's the advanced level and then the novice level. The novice level should never go, like, after the advanced.
Maybe not, but, I mean, look at the experience level with the women that they put in this match. They're at a disadvantage right now. A lot of their roster on the women's side is very young and inexperienced. Tiffany Stratton has barely been wrestling for like 3 years. Chelsea Green's got some experience. You know, Io Sky's got some experience. Lyra Valkyria does not. Zoe Stark does not. Naomi is a veteran, but, like, you know, Lyra, Zoe Stark, and Tiffany Stratton were all pretty new to wrestling, and they were in this match. And then you look at the guys in that match. I mean, Drew McIntyre, Andrade, Chad Gable, Jey Uso, LA Knight. Those are some legit professional, seasoned wrestlers.
And Carmelo Hayes, I think, has fair share of, like, multi-man ladder matches in NXT.
Yeah, like, he's done stuff like that, but he's kind of
but, like,
younger and less experienced. But those other guys, like Jey Uso, just Jey Uso. Is there any, like, there's nobody in the women's match that has the experience of Jey Uso.
There was no Becky in this match.
No. Well, that's it. Like, the closest thing they had was Naomi, and she botches a lot.
Yeah.
So, you know, she tries.
You're not wrong.
She tries, but sometimes she's not, you know, succeeding.
And it's great for Chelsea. By the way, it's great. Like, that bump was great, but there were also some moments where it's like Chelsea shouldn't be in this match. I don't know if you caught those moments, but there were some bad moments with Chelsea.
I didn't notice them as much as I noticed Zoe Stark's bad moments in the match.
That too. I mean, yeah, there was a couple of bad things. This is why, like, I wouldn't easily give it number 2 this match, the second best match of the night. But
it was a total mess. But everything else was kind of just boring.
Right. Well, we know what number 1 is, at least.
Yeah.
Clear and easy, yes.
Number 1 match of the night, men's Money in the Bank.
For sure.
Okay. So we've talked about it. We've kind of given you a feel on how we feel about this show. What's the score on 10? I want to see scores on 10 here for this show. Show me your scores on 10 for this show, WWE Money in the Bank 2024. Show me in the chat. We'll go to
Me?
Johnny first.
Oh.
I tricked you.
Oh
Johnny.
wow, big swerve right there.
Yeah.
Um,
Whose house? Sorry, you said swerve. I
Definitely-
got excited.
yeah, it's true. There was no swerve on Collision. That's what kind of made tonight fun for me, was that it was like a simulcast. I got to watch Collision and Money in the Bank at the same time, 2 different screens, so that was fun. And Collision was actually really good. You had Tony Storm on it, MJF was on it. I told you guys off air, like, fantastic main event of Hangman against Jay White.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Liz?
Watch that.
Yeah. Oh, it was a good show.
Marco Stunt was on, I saw.
Marco Stunt against Jack Perry.
Yeah.
That was quite a surprise. And
Yeah.
Jack Perry killed him.
Yeah.
Javelin, like, into the post kind of thing, like, or in the buckle, like, it was pretty crazy. For Collision, like, I know everyone thinks Collision is a good show, but they actually seemed to deliver, especially against Money in the Bank, where most people won't watch it. They gave you reasons to watch. So
I
that
think
was
they're
fun.
trying.
It was
They're
fun.
trying to run opposition, because it's not like people are buying Money in the Bank and are going to stick to it. Like, people that watch Money in the Bank, they're already subscribed to a channel. So they're either going to tune into that, or they're going to switch over to Collision. And you might switch over to Collision if you're a wrestling fan. I think it makes sense to counter-program WWE pay-per-views on Saturday night. Like, go extra hard with your Collision, because you know that there's going to be a certain segment of the population that's going to sit down on this Saturday night to watch professional wrestling. And if Money in the Bank sucks, they might go, what's on Collision?
Oh, I'm JF.
Yeah.
Well, that was a huge thing, too. Like, there's so much downtime. It's like, oh, well, this is on.
Yeah.
Like, I watched more of the Tony Storm match than I did Seth and Damian Priest, just because Tony Storm's match was far more intriguing.
Yeah. Who'd she wrestle?
Trish Adora. Again, someone you probably don't know. But
I've
still,
heard the name.
Tony Storm's in there. Oh, you've heard the name. Okay. She wasn't too bad. And Tony, again, fantastic. Like, far more interesting than Seth and Priest, without question.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Harold Schneider drop in the super chat. Thank you, Harold. You're the super chat leader of the night so far. He says Money in the Bank used to be fun. Not tonight. And getting some scores on 10. Harold score on 10, 6. Ryan Katz, 8. Franco 316, 7. So kind of a mix. Johnny, you gave me your Collision score. Seemed pretty high. Seemed like it was higher than Money in the Bank. What do you think?
I think I'd both give them a 7 overall. Like, I thought they were both enjoyable for their own real reasons. They weren't perfect shows, but both had highlights, so I give them both 7s.
Yeah,
I think I'm being kind of generous to Money in the Bank,
you are.
but I thought the ladder match was pretty good, and like, although the women's one wasn't great, like you said, the effort was there. They put their lives on the line. Some of it didn't work out too well, but I appreciate the effort of, putting your life on the line.
Contemplating what I'm going to give this show. What do we do for Forbidden Door? It was like a 6.5 for me, I think.
I gave it a 6.5. I forget what you gave it, but
I think I did a 6.5 too, or a 6 maybe.
me
I didn't
maybe give or a 7 maybe.
No way. I gave it a 7. I feel like it was in the 6 range. I think it was a 6.5.
Okay.
I think I'm going to give this thing a 7. It wasn't great. It wasn't horrific. I liked it better than Forbidden Door, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
Past couple big wrestling shows I've watched have not been good.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but yeah, 7 here.
There we go. I mean,
Also,
it's fair.
I didn't care much for Forbidden Door. I found it kind of boring. Ladder matches, even in the women's one, there's a lot of car crashes, but they were kind of going for it. A lot of risky spots that you don't always see. I won't forget, Zoe Stark just landing on her head on the ladder.
That was pretty cool.
And the clang that made, jeez.
What the hell was she doing?
Well, she was trying to do like a
Eddie
dive
spot
kind of thing.
Yeah, trying to do like a dive thing over the ropes, and she just like landed.
She was too close
with the back of her head on a ladder. It was awful.
Yeah.
So 7 on 10, and the men's Money in the Bank is our match of the night.
Yeah.
It's a unanimous sweep, which we never do on this show. That is weird.
Usually we have different opinions.
Usually, yeah. I mean, at least the number on the card is different. We're going same number, same. We predicted everything basically the same too. John, you did win the predictions though, because you did predict that Drew, like we both predicted Drew to win Money in the Bank and attempt to cash in, but be foiled by CM Punk, which happened, right?
Yeah, that happened. Yeah.
But I said that Drew would not actually get to cash in, and he would hold on to the briefcase. Remember? And you said that he would cash in and he would lose the briefcase, and that's what happened. So you actually did win the prediction battle on a technicality. I'm calling it technicality because it was, it was like, well, Drew will get screwed by Punk and not win the belt after cashing in. But you said he would cash in and lose. I said I don't think he'll lose the briefcase. He did lose the briefcase, though, which is just so pathetic. To pick it up at the beginning of the night and then cash in at not even at the end, in the middle of the show, and then not even win. Jeez.
Antoinette brings up a good point. Like, not just a one-on-one match with Punk and Drew. What about a three-way? Because Seth right there, too. Like, you see Seth, like, flipped off Punk at the end as well?
Yeah, Seth got mad.
So,
triple threat?
Maybe they do a three-way. Yeah.
They were always supposed to wrestle.
Oof, okay. Yeah, because he did kind of screw Seth out of the match, too. Right? So, it was one-on-one Seth versus Priest. Kind of halfway through the match, Drew McIntyre comes out to cash in, makes it a triple threat match, which seems dumb. Like, why not wait till somebody wins and is completely beat up and then cash in? Why cash in halfway through?
But this way, Seth got protected. He didn't take a loss. That's why.
Yeah, I understand from a booking perspective. I'm trying to understand from, like, a Drew McIntyre perspective. It seems dumb.
He's impatient. That's it.
He's dumb. Anyways, just before Drew came out, we have to address this. Seth Rollins hits a Falcon Arrow on Damian Priest and pins him. 1, 2, and then the ref stops counting. Priest does not kick out. It is obvious to everybody watching at home and everybody in the arena. And Antoinette, correct me if I'm wrong, but that seemed pretty obvious.
Yeah,
the fans were like, whoa, boo, what the hell?
They thought it was a title change right there, I think.
It seemed like Seth won.
Seth was looking at the ref like, what do we do?
Seth looks at the ref like, what the hell?
Do I win?
And then Priest kind of says some stuff, and the ref says some stuff, and they kind of stand around. Antoinette says it was 3. So she saw, everybody in the arena saw it, everybody on TV saw it, right? So it's 1, 2, and then he goes 2.
CM Punk 2.
But then you go, well, no. And Seth's looking at him like, well, what? And then they talk for a while. There's confusion. And then Drew McIntyre's music hits, and he comes out to cash in the thing. So, yeah, Antoinette is saying what we're all thinking, right? What everybody was thinking at that moment. Oh, Drew's music and entrance was supposed to interrupt the count, but it was late.
I don't know about that. I question
You don't
that
think
one.
that's what happened? That does seem like that seems like the most logical explanation for Priest not kicking out.
Because it's only a Falcon Arrow. It's not like his stomp thing, Like, it's not like his finish. I mean, Falcon Arrow, how many people kicked out of Falcon Arrow? Many times. I think what happened was Priest got knocked out for a second there. And he just couldn't kick out. He wasn't all there.
Well, that's bad. I don't know
That's
what
bad
to
too.
say,
Of course,
man.
it's bad too.
It's
Yeah,
possible. You might be right, but he was maybe unconscious for a brief moment and then came to.
flash knockout.
I don't know. I think that there was a miscommunication. If he was knocked out, then okay, it's too bad. But if he wasn't, John, if he was conscious, and he did seem conscious the whole time, he didn't seem knocked out, but I don't know. But if he wasn't knocked out, he's got to kick out. Even if the music doesn't hit, you got to kick out. It seemed to me like it was a music situation. The music doesn't hit.
Yeah.
The music doesn't interrupt. So they don't kick out. And then, because he's not supposed to kick out. Because the music's supposed to hit and the ref's supposed to stop counting and everybody just focuses on the music and Drew. That's what was supposed to happen, I think. 1, 2, music, everybody goes, what the hell? But instead, the music's late, so you go 1, 2, no music, and Priest doesn't kick out because he's not technically supposed to, but he should have. If he's knocked unconscious for a brief moment in that spot, maybe, okay, but I don't think he was, John. I don't think that's what happened. I think that they just messed it up. Because this night was just a total mess. And when the referee does not count 3, you expose everything.
Yep. Again.
You expose it all for being so damn fake.
Yeah.
You expose it all. Because Seth Rollins should be the world champion right now. He should have just walked out champion. If Drew's cashing in, he's cashing in on Seth. It's not a triple threat because Seth just pinned Damian Priest. But unfortunately, that's not what they did. That's not what the plan was. It became a triple threat for a bit. Then CM Punk showed up and attacked Drew McIntyre. And then he choked Drew with a wire, which I didn't think you were allowed to do. And then he hit him with a chair a bunch. And then he hit Drew McIntyre with the title belt. And then Damian Priest hit his finisher on Drew for the win. And Seth was like outside the ring, and he missed it all, and he was mad at Punk after the match, and Drew's mad at Punk, and everybody's mad at Punk, and Punk is laughing, and he was kind of holding the title belt, like thinking about being champion himself. So that's what happened. It was not good. And Punk showing up, like, it's cool for the fans and all, but honestly, it was such a predictable appearance for him. It really did nothing for me. Seeing him do what he did was just like, oh, yeah, there he is. Okay. It's just, there's nothing. It's a very mid appearance.
It'd be cool if he attacked Seth.
He didn't, yeah, that's it. He just kind of taunted him.
Yeah, it'd be cool if he hit him with a belt, too. So, yeah, screw you, too.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He attacked Drew and cost him another match. How many times are we going to go around this circle?
Is he cleared?
You cost me a match. I attack you. You attack me. I cost you. It's like, all right, guys. We've been doing this since January. I'm tired of it. Get cleared or go away. Like, because this doesn't help anything. You're diverting all the attention to CM Punk, and he's not medically cleared to wrestle. We had this promo on Raw this week when everybody's just chanting Punk's name, and they don't care about the rest of the participants in this match. It's like, come on, man. Shit or get off the pot. You know what I mean? Like, do it or don't. I'm tired of this. Like, there's only, like, it's cool the first time, the second time, the third time you go, all right.
This again.
And then the fourth time, fifth time, you go, what the hell are we doing here? Do the match already, bro.
Reheated leftovers.
That's it. It's like, we said Drew would win Money in the Bank and then get screwed by Punk. And that's exactly what happened because that's just the circle that we're in. And we'll never get out of it. I want out. Do the match. Do the match. Get it over with.
I think the triple threat makes sense because if you're a little bit worried about him, hiding him in a triple threat, that might be easier to get that match done.
That's true.
Yep. But then again, you thought hiding him in a Royal Rumble might be an easy way to get him through to WrestleMania season, and that didn't work.
Yep, that didn't work out too well. You would have thought, though. I mean, I understand the logic of that. Didn't work out, sadly.
Royal Rumble is not the Elimination Chamber or Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? It's not really a match where you see a lot of injuries come out of. But Punk got hurt.
Or sometimes from, like, eliminations, you know.
Once in a while, like a Takamichi Noku. But
or John Cena once, I think, like, broke his leg, like, landing on...
Cena?
AJ Styles.
No, Cena in, like, 2004, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it can happen. I'm just saying, like, come on, man. He got hurt in the Rumble.
Yeah.
He could get hurt in anything.
But I don't blame again the ref for that decision because the stipulations they were kind of screwed. Like he can't lose in a sense because then Priest has to be out of the Judgment Day, and that's not what they want in the storyline. They put themselves in a hard place. This is why, if that's the case, you have to kick out, regardless if the music hits or not. You got to kick because you bury the business if you didn't, and
Yep.
they buried it.
So let me ask you this. So Seth didn't win. Priest won, right?
Right.
So
Officially,
right. But does that mean that Seth can't get another shot? Because the stipulation was if Priest loses, he has to leave the Judgment Day. If Seth wins, he can't get another shot at the world title as long as Priest is champion. Right?
correct. Yes.
But loophole, that stipulation was for Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. That
True.
match never ended.
True. Yeah, you could say that.
The
the
match that
commentators-
ended was Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and it was a Money in the Bank match. It was a different match. I don't think that stipulation should count because the stipulation was for Priest versus Seth one-on-one, and that match never actually had a finish because it became a different match during the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with your thinking, but the commentators said that Seth now doesn't get another shot at Priest.
Well, that's stupid. Fuck WWE, man. They are doing some dumb shit tonight. I'm trying to make sense of it, and they go, no, actually, that's not how we're going to do it. And you go, why? Why?
They should get some good writers. If they're rep by, Endeavor and all this stuff, they can get some, Hollywood quality writers, no?
It's ridiculous. I don't understand what this is. I think the big news of the night was your hero and mine, John Cena, coming out and announcing his retirement. John Cena says he's on the last time is now. What happened? I missed
John threw a Gatorade bottle?
Just threw my Gatorade bottle.
it. Wow. John is mad.
John is saying boo words.
It's the retirement tour, John. It's okay. He's going away.
We don't need to put up with this, but apparently we have to put up with this. We had to put up with it tonight, sadly. So
I liked it. I liked it because it was the only thing that actually meant anything on this stupid show. What did we learn here at the end of this?
well, we know the main event for SummerSlam now, and that it's Tiffy time now all the time.
Yeah, Tiffy won the Money in the Bank. That's really all that happened.
Yeah.
The two stories that came out of this show are Tiffany Stratton won the Money in the Bank ladder match, which, okay, it was going to be somebody. And John Cena says he's retiring. He cut a promo, talked about Canadian fans, how they always showed up, whether WWE was doing good business or bad. They were always there, and they were always on fire. And he wanted to announce his retirement here in Toronto for that reason.
Did he say Canada should get a WrestleMania too? Did he
I don't think he said that this time.
Oh,
But Canada has had a
Oh,
WrestleMania before.
two.
They've had two, both in Toronto. I mean,
Yeah.
technically Canada.
It's down the street.
Down the street from Canada?
No, from where the building was at the Skydome.
Yeah.
It's right next to the Scotiabank Arena.
Yeah. When he says, London should get a WrestleMania, it's because they never have had one before. I get
I
it.
agree, Kyle.
What did Kyle say?
Oh, you can check that out. He's 100%
Cena killed
right.
wrestling for me. Hope he stays retired. Wow. The hatred for
It's
John
true,
Cena
though.
is still strong. Still strong. I get it.
He even said he got a mixed reaction.
Did he when he came out tonight?
Well, he said when he announced his retirement, he's like, it was a little mixed right there.
Mm.
Well, I think some people are cheering as a sort of the thank you Cena kind of thing. So they're cheering. I don't think they were cheering as a get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think anybody booing the retirement is booing the fact that he's going away.
Yeah, and I think they were cheering because they were like, oh, thank you Cena for all the moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was all positive. I don't think it was a let's go Cena sucks kind of reaction.
No.
I didn't get that vibe.
He doesn't get that anymore, John. That's just
Yeah.
you and a very small minority of wrestling fans, In a 20,000 seat arena, there's about 100 of you.
Yeah, Cena's won over a lot of people. He's the peacemaker now, a lot of people.
He's on The Bear. He's one of the facts.
Yeah.
That was crazy. I was watching The Bear, the new season of that, and then John Cena pops in. I'm like, what the hell? He's a fact? It's crazy. I was like, what? John Cena's on this show? It's a good show. It's like actually a good show. And John Cena's
Crazy
on it.
cast.
I was like, what? Yeah, the cast is very good. The fact that they added John Cena is like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a very good show. The guy that played Kerry Von Erich in that Von Erich movie is the main guy in this show.
Carmi.
So you see Kerry Von Erich and John Cena on
Of
the
course,
same show,
you
brother.
know, Oliver Platt, from Ready to Rumble.
Yeah, the
Jimmy
guy,
the King.
Yeah, Jimmy the King from Ready to Rumble is also one of the characters
right.
on the show.
That's right.
A lot of wrestling connections,
Yeah.
brother. David Arquette's childhood hero, Jimmy the King.
Oh,
Guy was the best.
WCW champion. Rival of DDP.
Goldberg had nothing on him.
Isn't it like now 26-year anniversary of when Goldberg beat Hogan? Isn't that like today?
Who cares?
I don't know.
That's a dark day of wrestling.
I don't mark that every year. It's not even the 25th anniversary, John. You're like, isn't it today the 26th anniversary? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not something I mark every year. Like, oh, did you know that it's July 6th? Today is the day where Goldberg beat Hogan at the Georgia Dome. Like, I don't.
Okay.
I don't know, John. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Who gives a shit? Fuck Goldberg. He's the worst.
Terry forever.
They were in Toronto tonight. I remember when Goldberg tried to spear Bret Hart in Toronto, and then Bret Hart was wearing the Maple Leafs jersey with the metal plate underneath, and then Goldberg knocked himself out. That was great. Stupid-ass Goldberg.
That was a good moment. It was a good moment.
Yeah. Bret Hart is the best. Goldberg is the worst. John Cena says he's retiring, and he says Royal Rumble 2025 will be his last Royal Rumble. Elimination Chamber 2025 will be his last Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania 2025 will be the last Mania where he will compete as a wrestler. So probably his retirement match will be at WrestleMania. He said it'll be the last Mania. He didn't say that's when his last match will be.
Yeah, it's
He
true.
did say he's retiring, but he didn't say exactly when. So I'm not sure.
Might have a match in Boston or
That's
something.
it. He was like, Rumble, Chamber, Mania will be my last those. But he didn't say
Right.
my last match will be on here at Mania in Vegas. He didn't say that specifically. So, like Antoinette's like, I want to go to Vegas to see. Her dream is to go to WrestleMania. If you're going to WrestleMania specifically because you want to see John Cena's final match, and I know some people, Johnny North won't be one of them, but some people do love John Cena and will want to go and see Cena's last match. Wrestling fans like to see that type of thing. I would maybe wait to see if Mania will actually be his final match, because I'm not sure if it will be. Like, he wasn't clear on that, right?
No.
Like, maybe they have a show in Boston like the week after, and he's going to be there, and that'll be his fun. Like,
Russell Randy.
maybe a house show in Boston against Randy or something. You know what I mean? Something like that. Maybe that'll be his final match. So we'll see, but he does say that he is retiring, and that makes sense. He's got a lot of things going on. His
acting career's taken off.
He's getting older. He's nearly 50, I think, at this point.
I think his back is hurting him pretty bad.
Yeah,
too.
his body's
his
body
caught
is
to
beat
him.
up, and you've seen him in his wrestling matches. The past couple wrestling matches he's had. He
doesn't want to be Undertaker.
He's not the same. He's worse.
Or it's a bunch of years.
He's dropped. He's dropped
Yeah.
more. And Taker, don't forget, Taker. No disrespect, but he had jack shit going on other than just preparing for one match a year. Cena's got shit to do.
He's got tons of
he doesn't have time to just be in the gym preparing for one match a year. He doesn't have 364 days to do nothing and sit on the ranch with Michelle and work out in my gym and think about how the police are disrespected across our nation. Cena doesn't have time to do that. He's got shit to film.
He's flying over the world.
Yeah, he's recording things. He's doing things. He's making appearances. He's busy. He doesn't have time to get his body into the wrestling shape that it needs to get into, if it could even get into it once again. So, yeah, he's retiring. Good for him. He's had an incredible career. Incredible.
Now, I got to ask.
One of the biggest legends in the history of the business.
Do you think they're going to make this a sort of just a retirement tour, and then one of his his match in Mania is it'll be a match with Randy just as a thing, or are they going to try to make it he's going to break Ric Flair's title record, and it's a quest for Cena, and he'll be the focal point again?
I don't know. I think it depends where they're at. I don't think it'll be a final quest for the belt, though. Maybe against Gunther. I could see Cena Gunther at WrestleMania. I could see them going in that direction for the world title. I could see them also, having Cena wrestle just Seth or AJ.
CM Punk.
Or maybe CM Punk for his final one.
Yeah, great rivalry.
Maybe. But I think you'd want to get...
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should do one more with Randy. I don't know if you do the retirement match with Randy. I would think you'd want the retirement match, like the last match
with
at
Brock.
Mania, to be against... Not Brock.
No.
Never Brock again.
Aw.
He's canceled. John, what are you talking about? We were just talking about Vince last night. Now you want to bring Brock back? Come on, dude.
They mentioned Brock on television lately.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. If a man accepts human beings as part of his contract, I don't really want to see him on TV ever again. You can't have human sacrifices as part of your contract. It seems a little wrong. I don't like it.
I'm
Allegedly.
not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that he's back on the roster anyway, so I
He
can
is?
see him back.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, I can't imagine.
I don't want that as John Cena's match, though. It's just
Yeah, I don't really want that. I honestly think it should be somebody like a little bit younger who can carry him.
Who can do that now, right now? Like, who's up and coming who could carry him?
Breaker.
I don't even think not younger in the company, like a young star. I mean like younger than Cena. Like not Randy, not, AJ Styles. Like I think Seth. I think you have
it's
Seth
been
be the
done.
guy.
Not a lot.
I've had some history.
They have a little history. I think you can make something between now and then. And I feel like it would be good for Seth to get that match. It would be good for him to be able to carry Cena through that match. Give him one last good match. I don't know who else on the roster
Owens?
needs it. Yeah, Owens would be good. They do have history, too.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is actually better. I think I like that more. Kevin Owens against John Cena, final Cena match, I think would be cool. I think they should do that.
Well, the thing is, you're going to need a heel, though, right?
I don't think so.
Could be out of respect.
Shawn Michaels wasn't a heel when he wrestled Ric Flair in his last match. He said,
No,
I'm
he wasn't,
sorry, I
but-
love you, and then beat him. Like, come on. Kevin Owens can do the same thing to John Cena. I'm sorry.
But he was more of the heel against Taker, though.
Michaels?
Yeah, he tried to act like he was all, heavenly, and Taker was, the dark side, but people still cheered Taker.
But that wasn't Taker's last match.
It was Shawn's last match. Supposed to be, anyways.
It wasn't. Necessarily. Right. Yeah.
Like he'd make you think it was.
I guess Shawn was a bit heelish in his last match, but whatever. That was Shawn's choice. I don't think Cena will be a heel now, I don't see how that
Of course
applies.
not.
I don't see how that
No, but-
scenario is applicable to this one, John. I don't get it.
Gunther, I think, is the best choice when you think about it, because that's a true heel right there. Someone who could put a good beating on Cena. You're not going to have Brock. I think Gunther is a great choice.
Okay, so you have Cena. You have Gunther beat Damian Priest for the belt at SummerSlam. Then proceed to beat Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk leading up to WrestleMania throughout the months, right? You have many months. You have, September, October, November, December.
Who could stop Gunther?
No one can stop Gunther. January, he takes on, say, CM Punk at the Rumble. He beats Punk or Seth, one of those guys. And then Cena's in the Rumble on his quest, but he gets eliminated maybe in the final 2 or final 3 type of thing. Then he goes in the Elimination Chamber, and he winds up winning that to get a shot at Gunther. He says he's going to be at Rumble and Chamber and Mania. So he wins Chamber, gets a shot at Gunther, at Mania and then beats Gunther in his final match, or beats Gunther in his final Mania, and he didn't say it's his final match, so then he drops the title to somebody else in his final match a week later, maybe a month later at the next pay-per-view. You know what I mean? I think that's the trajectory. Build Gunther super strong as the unstoppable foreign heel, just for Captain America, John Cena, to defeat him and take the championship once again at WrestleMania, brother. Doesn't get better than that.
Vintage Cena.
Classic Cena. John, I know you hate it, but it's got to be what it's got to be.
Well, honestly, I like it except for that WrestleMania. Like, that's the only thing I changed about that. I would just change that.
The finish,
Gunther
you mean?
should win. Yeah, Gunther should win that one. Squash him, too.
Squash him is just mean.
Yeah.
But Gunther,
For Cena?
I don't disagree with you that Gunther should probably win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's good long-term booking. It's good.
It is, though, right? I think that's the way to go. Cena Gunther
Yeah. It fits.
for the belt. Heel champion, foreign guy.
Cena going for one last, I don't know,
Yeah,
shot
one
at history.
one last shot. Vintage Cena. But Cena going for one last shot of history and then not getting it is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it feels like Cena should get it.
Unless on the same night, Charlotte Flair does it.
Oh, yeah, she's tied too?
She's tied with Cena. Like, what are they, 18-time champions or something?
Well,
16-time?
they're all, yeah,
I
tied
think-
with Nate.
I think Charlotte's at 14 because they don't count, I think, 2 of her NXT title wins.
Well, whatever.
Well,
They'll start counting them if they're going to do the record thing. Like, they'll add them. They'll go, yeah, it counts.
Eh.
We'll see when she comes back, too. I mean, it's been a while since she's been out.
It's a matter of time, though, right?
You would hope so, but I thought she would have been back by now, to be honest. I'm surprised we haven't seen her sooner.
I miss her.
Yeah, she's
She's needed
missed.
on Raw. But they aren't going to put her on Raw, unfortunately.
No, she's on SmackDown, isn't she?
Supposed to be.
And Andrade's on SmackDown, isn't he?
Well, that's why you think that, right? Like, she should go to SmackDown. But
Yeah.
we look at Raw. The Raw landscape for the women's division, it's pretty awful.
The landscape.
Yeah, they didn't change the landscape with that. The landscape on Raw is pretty awful. It's Liv Morgan and I don't know. They're waiting for Rhea to come back. Hopefully she comes back soon. They got nothing. Bubkiss. That's how I say nothing. All right, Johnny. Well, we've done it. We've done it all. John Cena retiring. Cody Rhodes loses to Solo Sikoa. It seems like it'll be Cody versus Solo for the title at SummerSlam in the main event. Does Roman help Cody win by stopping the new bloodline from wreaking havoc? I think that's the only question. Does Roman appear at SummerSlam to possibly help Cody? Or do we wait to see Roman after SummerSlam? Or do we somehow get Roman before SummerSlam? I mean, that would be cool.
4 weeks.
Is it 4 weeks away?
Yeah.
Oh, we're not getting Roman before SummerSlam. Forget that. It's only 4 weeks. It's not enough time. Maybe he shows up at SummerSlam. If we're lucky. Right?
I expect an appearance. I don't know what his allegiance will be, and I think that will be up in the air, too.
I think it'll be to Heyman.
You would think that, yeah. But I mean, like, is he going to help Cody win? Like, that doesn't make sense to me because he should hate Cody too, right?
Yeah, but Solo is saying that he's going to become champion to show everybody in the family that he really is the tribal chief. So if he does that, then he becomes real tribal chief. So Roman, as the rightful tribal chief, has to stop him from doing that?
It's a good point. Yeah, that might happen. I just think Roman after the match, like, I don't think he needs to interfere during the match.
But who cares if he interferes after the match if Solo loses? Unless Solo wins.
I don't see that happen. I think that kind of confirmed it with the whole pinning Cody thing. Like, he's definitely not winning at SummerSlam.
Well, that's it. So who cares if Roman Reigns comes out and just like beats up on Solo after he's lost to Cody? It's kind of like, why?
He's
It's
already beat
mean.
up.
It's rubbing salt in the wound. That's not really like the triumphant babyface returning to vanquish his evil cousin. It's just like, wow, Roman, you're kind of a dick. Why are you doing that?
You know, didn't he say, Roman, that Solo will always be the tribal chief one day? It's just not yet.
Okay.
I mean, this is what he wanted in a sense. He wanted Solo to be the tribal chief. So
you think Roman
should be
comes
happy.
back and just acknowledges and says, yeah, this is the new thing, and I'm just like one of your guys now? I acknowledge you? Come on.
I'm just saying, like, helping Cody, to me, that doesn't make a lot of sense, too. So it's interesting to see what will
seeks
happen.
redemption.
Well, we're 4 weeks away, so I'm sure we'll get a better idea of it now. Let's not start predicting SummerSlam. We did a good job of predicting Money in the Bank. Let's wait. Okay, John? Let's wait.
Hopefully get a good card, too. Like, hopefully more than just 5 matches.
I wouldn't bet on it.
I would think hopefully more than 5 matches. Like, tonight shows that you need more than 5 matches. It's just not enough. Just dragging out show stuff, but with 5 matches doesn't work. It hurts the show.
Well, that's why I thought it would be like 3 hours. Or
You would
less.
think.
I got excited when they started at 7 o'clock. I was like, 7 o'clock? That's great.
Mhm.
And then it went to late. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching us tonight. Shout out to Harold Schneider dropping the super chat. Antoinette dropping the gifted membership to Ace of Spade. Welcome, Ace of Spade. Thank you, Antoinette, for supporting. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself at Money in the Bank tonight. Glad to see that you did. I know you did. Jimmy James. Shout out Jimmy James. Shout out Antoinette. Shout out Franco316. All the members in the chat over at join.ringsidereport.net. Ryan Katz. Jason Pete. My goodness. The chat is alive. Kyle Salisbury. Thank you, Kyle. Angelo Contagonis. Wow. Join.ringsidereport.net. Join.ringsidereport.net. Membership.ringsidereport.net to support the channel. You could also drop a super chat like Angelo just did. Leor, longtime member. Thank you, Leor, for checking in with us tonight out in Moncton, New Brunswick. Beautiful Moncton. Angelo dropping the super chat, new super chat leader of the night. Thank you, everybody, for supporting. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Appreciate you here on a Saturday night. Johnny and I will be back Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right after SmackDown, to talk more about the wonderful world of professional wrestling.
And who wins the Owen?
Will we know? Yeah, we'll know right on Wednesday in Calgary for Dynamite, the Owen Hart Cup Finals, where we will know who will challenge the world champions at AEW's All In. I think we know that it'll be Mariah May against Toni Storm on the women's side. The men's side, it's Bryan Danielson or Hangman Page. I think that's still up in the air. Could go either way. I think it's going to be Hangman. And you think it's going to be Bryan?
Well, actually, we had the other way. Our original picks were I had Hangman, you had Bryan. But the odds are saying, the odds on, apparently if you bet on this, Bryan's the odds on favorite, apparently.
Oh, I hope he wins. I would be very happy to see Bryan Danielson win, get a big title match at All In, win the title, become champion, run wrestling once again. That should be the direction.
He's also
Are they now? Is that true, Angelo?
Angelo's saying Jeff Jarrett's going to be the special enforcer for the Bryan Hangman match? That doesn't seem fair for Hangman. Hangman was
That
Jarrett's
seems very
first-round
unfair.
opponent. Why would he
And
do
Jarrett
that?
got involved tonight, too. So, against Hangman. So, that's interesting.
What if Jeff Jarrett joins the Elite? That would be very Jeff Jarrett of him.
Would be a nice career move.
Like it's
My
classic.
world.
Like you think he's gonna hit Hangman with the guitar? No, he hits Bryan. It's like, oh, Jarrett, you bastard. Classic.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Jeff Jarrett have that big of a role.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
Seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's 2024. Let's not do that.
it's not 2006.
Yeah.
They also announced on Collision the nephew of Dynamite Kid's going to be in action. as well, because they're filming Dynamite and Collision both on Wednesday, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, they're doing both of those shows in Calgary Wednesday night, filming both. You are correct. I have it on my schedule. Dynamite in Calgary, Collision in Calgary, Rampage in South Haven, Missouri, which is where they were tonight for Collision. They're taping Rampage.
Mississippi.
Sorry, Mississippi.
Yeah.
South Haven, Mississippi. That's where they were tonight for Collision, and they're recording Rampage tonight for next Friday. Isn't that weird?
It's a weird way of taping things, yeah, but I guess it's the best way to use the roster, I guess, without overloading so much on what's going to happen on Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah.
That's like 2 shows. That's gigantic. But they're on the West Coast, so it's not so bad, I think. For them, anyways.
All right, we will be back here to talk all about the wrestling coming up Friday night, and then AJ and Freddie and I will be back Thursday night. That's the next show here on the Ringside Report Network. Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, every Thursday at 8 o'clock. We talk MMA. And we've got Macy Barber versus Rose Namajunas next Saturday in Denver, Colorado for the UFC. So that's actually a pretty decent card. UFC doing a fight night out of the Apex, so it's always a step above than those boring-ass Apex fight nights. So we'll talk about that coming up Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Money in the Bank post show here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a